And hello, movie lovers. So tonight, I actually have Christopher back with me, and then also Quentin Bennet, independent comic book writer. Quentin Bennett's with me, and of course, Christopher Minori, independent writer and author and playwriter of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And so, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. We're going to be talking about our live-action video game movies. This is just us just talking about video game adaptations and if what worked, what didn't work, and things like that. So let's go on ahead. Let's get on with the show. And hey guys, how are you guys doing?
Here we go. Doing good.
Hi, how's everyone doing? Sorry, I'm just looking at this mosquito wasp that's flying around.
And right now Quinn's fighting off his ADD. So, anyways, so like I said, we're going to be talking about our live action video game adaptations. And what better way to talk about it than with Christopher, who actually has a gaming channel called I Fucking Suck at Video Games. And then we have Quentin Bennet, who's also a comic book writer. But when you look at video game adaptations and stuff like that, I feel like that some of them are great and some of them are just pure garbage, to the point where they actually forget about what the actual story point of this whole entire essential actually is. But my question is this: when we're looking at live action adaptations of video games, is it hard for people to actually get why we love video games so much and why we want a power-driven movie out of the video games that we play? Or is it just the fact that it's too much of a world-building scenario where it's like, okay, it's too much, so we don't know how to actually pack this into a 2.5-hour movie? But I think having it into an episodic type of thing, like with Amazon or Netflix, like they're doing with The Last of Us with HBO Max, is actually a perfect way of actually going about it now. But what do you guys think?
I do agree with you on that. In the case of mostly world building, but you can say that with anything though. Lord of the Rings is a good education out there with Peter Jackson when he worked at that, because that is a major world building out there when it comes to Lord of the Rings.
I think
That's true.
I think what they have to do is, the problem is they've got to kind of hit it on two levels, right? On one level, hitting the fans of that particular game.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you've got to make it accessible to everybody. And honestly, I think just about the only video game movie that's ever done that is Warcraft, right? You don't have to play Warcraft to really get into that movie. It's a great movie all around. It's a fantastic story. And people like me who loved Warcraft, played that thing for like 9 years. All that story we had played, we're now seeing, because there's huge mythos in that game. But then people like my wife who never played that game, although actually I made her play it one time for my birthday. Made her play it just for, I was hoping I should get into it.
Play it or we get a divorce.
Yeah, she didn't. But she loves that movie. Right, because the movie, she didn't have to know anything about the game to really get into it, right? Whereas then you take something like, I don't know, other stuff is kind of in niche areas, right? The Resident Evil stuff. Well, if you like horror, you'll probably like it. But my wife didn't really get into it. She's not a zombie person. She doesn't like the video game, and she doesn't really know what's going on in the movie. I actually think few video game movies manage to do what Warcraft did. It's my favorite. I think it's the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You see, for me, I like the very first Resident Evil movie itself, even though I was thinking that I was going to Jill Valentine or someone into the very first Resident Evil game. But then I'm like, okay, well, if this is the direction that you're going in, I'll go with it for this first movie. And then maybe later on down the road, you'll adapt it into Jill Valentine going into the second film. Maybe this main character gets killed off in the first movie and then focuses on Jill. But no, they went on ahead and kept Alice. And to be honest with you, they forgot about what the sole purpose of Resident Evil actually is, to the point where it just became like an action zombie flick featuring the name of Resident Evil versus it being about Resident Evil. And of course, it does have the Raccoon City stuff, but there's just so much more that meets the eye when it comes down to the Umbrella Corporation. There's just so much stuff packed to the point where they forgot about the sole purpose of what this franchise actually is. and I think that Resident Evil missed its mark whenever it came down to the other movies and stuff like that too. But the other one I really liked was the '90s version of Mortal Kombat. I did not like
Love
this
it.
new version of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
What are you saying? That is like the most perfect,
Like,
one of the most perfect video game adaptation movies out there because it's so simple to do, and yet they botched it on Annihilation so badly.
Oh God, yeah,
mhm.
yeah. No, it
It's
was the
like
first
great
good video
mispoint.
game movie, I think. It was just really well done. The characters were all true to, I mean, I say true to them. There wasn't much character there in the game, right? But they
Well,
really
No.
built them up off of that. And
It was true to the lore, though.
yeah,
yeah,
they
no, I
followed
thought it was
the
great.
lore to the T on that. At the
And
very
Christopher
least.
Lambert, you
Yeah.
can't go wrong with a Christopher Lambert movie.
Definitely not. But another thing, though, that I really there was actually another video game that I liked that they totally botched was Silent Hill,
Mm,
and
Oh,
I
I would
wanted it to be.
disagree with you.
But here's the thing: I'm talking about the second film. The first
All
film,
right.
after
the first
watching
one-
it,
was okay.
because the first one to me was really good. Because here's the thing: I remember seeing it in theaters and just feeling let down whenever it first came out. But as I watched it again recently, I'm like, this movie is actually pretty good. Whenever it deals with the world building, it's simplistic. They didn't have to spend a lot of money to actually make this film or anything like that. They can do a movie for a lower budget, so therefore they don't have to fork out $150 million looking at you, Warner Brothers, for making Batman vs. Superman. But at least you don't have to worry about the fact that you are forking out a lot of money for something, and it can actually be a simplistic story versus being a huge thing. And they managed to get their characters and the development into the right kind of hands, in my opinion. But is there anything else that actually stands out to you guys as far as Silent Hill goes, or anything else for that matter?
I would say the one thing that stood out for me was the Castlevania animated series they did.
Hmm.
They actually do follow the lore, but they did their own thing too in some aspects. Because you got like a huge video game series that goes on. Like, how many games has it been now? Like almost maybe more than 10 now.
7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah.
There's 2 different compilations of them.
Yeah, I mean you got like so many characters to do, but I believe they follow that franchise too very well on that one. I did enjoy the Castlevania series very. It's very well done and very gory.
Yeah, so I thought the first Silent Hill film was done really well. I thought it was really good. It captured the atmosphere. It got a lot of the characters from the game, and it was just the whole town of Silent Hill, which really that's what it is. I mean, it was so creepy and so well done. Second movie, I actually thought was okay, but the first one I thought captured it perfectly. It was really, really good.
I was actually hoping
Especially
for
seeing Pyramid on the screen for the first time.
Oh, he was so good, wasn't he? When the two
Yeah.
of them were fighting him.
Yes.
Oh, that was awesome.
I was hoping for Sean Bean to play more of a role in the second one. Because to be honest,
That's true. I mean,
because he's a very good actor. I was very disappointed that he didn't play a major role for the second one.
well, I thought you were going to tell me that you were disappointed that he didn't die in the first one. Or
No, I love that actor. I don't want him to die again.
yeah,
All he does is die in
But no.
movies and shows.
but no, I definitely like Sean Bean as an actor. I think that he was just underutilized in that second film to the point where they didn't solely focus on his character, which is sad because in the second film, well, not the second film, but in the second video game, it was mainly focused going back over to Silent Hill again with his character. And it was kind of sidelined in a sense with that movie to the point where it wasn't primarily focused on him. They were trying to combine the second video game in with the third video game.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you actually look at the third video game and stuff like that, it was dealing with that main character instead of dealing with the husband from the second video game.
Yeah.
And I think they should have just focused in on that. But I understand why they would do that in that sense and stuff like that too, trying to gear towards the other audience who hasn't even heard of Silent Hill and trying to get them on board as well. But at that point, it's like, okay, well, what about us as the fans as well?
Yeah.
Because you have to gear towards us, like Christopher said, and also feed into the other crowd that hasn't even heard of Silent Hill and just going ahead and experiencing a horror film. So it's actually hard on both levels as far as doing a 2.5 hour movie, which I feel like doing these movies now, and I feel like this now, that they should just go on ahead and do TV series because of the fact that you can tell a cohesive story in 10 episodes or 12 episodes, and you can make it weekly or you can binge it. I prefer now doing it weekly because you're in the know of these characters and you can speculate. You can actually have a conversation, and the conversation just keeps on going. Versus binging, it fizzles out over a couple of hours, and it's like, yeah, I saw that TV series. You talk about it for a little bit, and it doesn't stick with you as much as you do weekly. And I think that's what is missed. If they do it that way, I think it's actually perfect. And I also feel like with The Last of Us, which I'm very excited that HBO Max took that property and actually adapting it into the way that we know it to be.
Yeah, I'm interested to see that.
Yeah.
To see that one and see what they do with it. I played the video game. I honestly wasn't as impressed as a lot of people. It was a fun game, but I didn't. Everybody acted like it was life changing, right? That it added something new to the gaming industry, and I didn't see it.
I think it was the
honestly.
graphics. I think it was just the graphics. That was a big breakthrough with Last of Us. I mean, the zombies were okay, if you can call them more like infected, more the infected.
Right.
I forget what they actually call them, to be honest
player.
with you.
I'm a PC player, so I mean, I'm already doing great graphics, right? So you got to bring more to the table to impress me. And I'll tell you, Last of Us had one of the shittiest DLCs I've ever seen. Right, it wasn't even really a playable DLC. It was pretty much just a movie they put on that wasn't even that interesting. So
Right.
I think it was a good game, but I just wasn't overly impressed. But I love zombie movies, so I'm really excited to see the TV series.
Well, if it's between Last of Us and other zombie games, I prefer Days Gone, which they are making them. If I recall, they are making a movie or TV series out of that now.
Oh,
Sony did announce that.
I didn't know that. I am all about 7 Days to Die. I play that shit. I played something like 300, 400 hours on Steam on that thing. So much fun. That is my go-to zombie game. If we're talking about, though, upcoming video game shows, I think Netflix is doing, and I can't wait for this, arguably the greatest written video game ever made, BioShock. Oh, I can't wait.
That's what I'm excited
man.
for.
It's going to be amazing.
I wonder
I don't know.
They're going to do a System Shock, the first
BioShock basically is System Shock, right? It was it was made by all the same people.
Yeah.
And had a lot of similarities, the ghosts and the atmosphere, right? I mean, in both things, the real stars of the game was where you were, right?
No, Daddy.
Man, I can't wait. I'm super excited about this.
You see, I'm excited about that one, Christopher, too, because here's the thing. When it comes down to that, you have to have the big budget to actually do the Big Daddy stuff. You also have to be able to do the science fiction aspect of it, mixed in with the fantasy aspect of it, and make it look like it's actually something that could actually happen.
Yeah, there's going to be graphics to the environment and everything with BioShock.
Most definitely. That's what I'm pumped up for, though, myself, though, because I've been wanting a BioShock movie since I played the very first BioShock video
Right?
game,
They had
and
it,
to
they
know that they're doing a
died,
TV
and they
series out of
had
it, I'm
it,
like,
and they
okay,
died.
this is the way to do it.
Yeah,
Super,
it's all
super
going to depend on the
excited.
director who's ever making this.
I just can't wait to see Rapture. That's my
Well,
thing. I want to see Rapture in all its glory, right?
All right.
well, considering the fact that this is actually a TV series, right? So therefore, you're going to have different directors attached to direct these individual episodes. So it's all about trying to find the director that's going to find that same cohesiveness as the pilot episode, or maybe the same director who made the pilot episode is going to be there for 3 episodes, and then the rest of it is going to be directed by somebody else, of course.
Right.
So it gives different lenses to how different directors see things in a different atmosphere in different directions, which is something that I really like, is the fact that with TV shows you can actually have it to where you have different directors sees things in a different perspective. And then if they screw the pooch on one episode, it's like, okay, well, you know what? I didn't like that episode as much as I wanted to, but I have several other episodes I can go to, so maybe I might actually like those episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Well,
there's actually another thing that I wanted to talk about. Oh, sorry. Go on ahead, Quentin.
and I'll let you finish, man.
No. Go on ahead.
I'm just going.
Seriously.
I'm just going to sink down and sulk.
You're already down low. How low can you go?
Yeah, we can
Like,
always
seriously?
see your comics poster. That's what we could see. I think this was on purpose, man.
What he's doing
that
is
was
he's
a plug.
sponsoring. You know what he's
That was
doing
a
right now?
plug
He's,
right there.
Yep.
Everybody get that? Severe Comics. Everybody
Quinn's a
get
selfish
that?
person.
I'm very selfish. What are you talking?
It's Severe Comics.
If there's a king of selfishness, it's me.
I'm just disappointed I didn't think to staple a couple of my books behind
Look at you
me.
down there.
I don't know what I was thinking. Shit. All right, so something you want to talk about.
Okay, so the Metal Gear Solid
Beat me to it.
movie is going to be coming out too. And I'm excited for that. I really am, because I've been wanting a Metal Gear Solid video game since the PS1 video game. Yes, I do know there's a regular Nintendo game of Metal Gear, but I was actually more geared towards the PS1 version with the double disc.
I think
And I even said this back in the day, if this was Kurt Russell in his prime, he would have actually been perfect for playing Snake.
Yeah, he would have been.
Yeah.
And have it directed by John Carpenter. But you know,
Is it because Kurt Russell was afraid of John Carpenter?
I think it's because of the fact he played Snake Plissken so many times that I actually picture Snake as him, because that's actually a perfect adaptation of who I imagined him to be.
So do you want to see young Snake or old Snake in this?
With me, I would prefer to see.
I like to say
the young Snake, because I do want them to, because they do need to explain the relationship between Snake and Big Boss before they do anything.
No, that makes sense. I really thought the game went into a really neat area when they brought in old Snake, you know, with whatever made him good. I don't know what it was now, but I thought it was such an interesting way to go with the series.
Yeah,
most definitely, because it made it more challenging because of the fact he's older, and because he's older, you have to make him eat more. You actually have to watch his diets and stuff like that. So it makes it a lot more realistic to the point where
need a chiropractor. How to take his pills,
cholesterol medicine, you know, heart medicine. It's a very realistic video game.
Had to have him chase the nurse.
He didn't go that far, but he did fall out of the bed at the last one that he had.
Do the Snake voice. Nurse.
It's a very good adaptation of him. But yeah, I do have to say though, I think that going with a younger Snake, you can do more movies with somebody that's younger versus it being someone older. because then you have to change out your actors all the time and things like that, and you're stuck, handcuffed to the writing room. It's like, okay, so what do I do with this character now? We've already done everything that we can. So next thing you know, it's like, well, it's prequel time. So let's go ahead and make a prequel about this character since we're stuck with the old Snake. So
if I remember correctly, was Oscar Isaac was supposed to play Solid Snake in this movie?
I believe so.
He does look like him. I do have to admit.
I think he would have been perfect. I think he would be perfect for it. But I wouldn't mind like Ethan Hawke playing a character.
Yeah.
Since they, twins and all.
But Chris is actually wearing one of my other favorite video games that I played when I was in high school.
Love it.
I love Diablo.
Diablo.
Good stuff.
I never played Diablo.
Oh, it's so much fun, dude.
I'm embarrassed for you, man.
I'm embarrassed for me too. That's why I'm just gonna stop the name now. I'm joking.
There he goes again, advertising.
Right? Diablo 3.
You're not sulking.
I'm
Diablo 2,
sulking.
one of the best games ever made, and the first Diablo.
Oh, Diablo 2 was my favorite.
Created a fucking genre, right? Is the dungeon crawlers also? I love dungeon crawlers. Torchlight's another great one. Yeah, they have books on Diablo, so it'd be interesting if they would do a movie at some point.
They probably will someday.
I think they are. They were talking. Here's the thing. Blizzard was talking about making their own movie studio and making their own movies. And Diablo was actually on the talks of it at one time.
That would be interesting. They are still.
And my question is this for you, Chris. Okay, I have a question. Like, when you talk about the books, would you rather them to be a straight adaptation of the books, or would you rather it separate itself and the continuity from the books as long as they keep the lore the same?
Yeah, I think the lore is really important. The books do use a lot of that. They expand a little bit out. I think it's like a trilogy at this point. There might be more. I've read the first 3. But yeah, it's a great story. Right? Here's the thing. Blizzard is, I think, the greatest animation studio out there. Right? They always push the limit. They're always ahead of the pack on the stuff that they do, and so I think they put these rich stories in all of their their platforms, their games, right? And put these gigantic mythos behind them, and so I think anything Blizzard, or any movie based on a Blizzard game, it just has this rich history to pull from. StarCraft 2, no one's done StarCraft yet, but StarCraft is a little RTS, and it has this amazing story behind it.
But, I think also, too, like Magic the Gathering would, and I know they're talking about doing like a Magic the Gathering tabletop game.
Yeah.
Well, not game, but movie, which I'm excited for too.
They're also doing Dungeons and Dragons, if I recall.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I did a trailer reaction to that as well.
I hope it's better than the last one.
Oh, me too.
I used to have that.
No Wayans Brothers. No Wayans Brothers in this one. I don't think they should put a Wayans Brothers in any future video games.
I remember that.
Game movies.
I used to have it on VHS.
Oh, it was awful. It was awful. I'll tell you, to me, so my very favorite game is Borderlands, right? And so, the Borderlands movie is coming out, and I'm so scared for it. I don't understand the casting at all. Jack Black is Claptrap. I don't know. I think he's going to sound like Jack Black, right? And I don't even understand, why didn't you just get the original Claptrap voice actor?
Yeah.
Right? It's a fully animated thing. Why not keep that guy? Was brilliant. Why not keep him? But the big thing that I just don't understand is Kevin Hart, right, playing Roland. I mean, Roland's like the most stoic, most serious character. This big soldier, right? And they're putting Kevin Hart in that role. What the fuck, man? It makes me. I don't know what Eli Roth is thinking. I don't. He better.
That's
He
Eli
better
Roth
pull
for
this
you.
one out of his ass. He better
Yes.
pull this one out.
Speaking of Jack Black, what do you think of him playing Bowser in the Super Mario book?
Well, I think he seems like the best thing in that movie. 'Cause
Yeah.
he sure as shit ain't Chris Pratt.
No.
No, he sounds. I didn't even realize it was Jack Black. Like when I first saw the trailer,
Yeah.
until they mentioned, I didn't even realize that was him because they've really modified his voice, right? And if
Yep.
they do that in Claptrap, I'd be very happy, right? If they maybe make it a little higher and stuff, I would be happy with that. I don't want to hear Jack Black talking out
Yeah.
of my robot, right? But yeah, he looks or sounds great
Yeah, he
as
sounds great.
Bowser. He don't look like anything because it's a cartoon.
Well, I'm gonna
I don't know
give
why I
I'm
said
gonna give
that.
And you
Chris
see,
Pratt,
that's how.
Mario a little benefit of doubt until I see
Oh
the
God,
second
don't do that.
until I see the second trailer because they can still fix it.
Mm-mm.
That's
No,
my
if I
opinion.
don't hear,
If you don't have the Italian accent,
I don't want it.
Because they had the same issue with
exactly. And you know
Sonic
what? I made a
as well.
joke. Oh,
If they able to fix Sonic, then they can fix
Like, you see-
Mario.
Yeah, they could fix them by replacing.
you
Chris
see, I made a
Pratt.
joke about this.
I can play Mario.
You see, I made
got
a
the
joke
look
about
now.
this while I was doing
I got the mustache. I
while I
got
was
nuts
doing.
in the backyard.
You definitely got the must. Well, let's listen to John's joke. Tell us your joke, John.
Sorry, but no, I was
It's your
actually.
show.
No, it's cool. It's cool. But no, basically what I said in the trailer reaction was this. I said, well, the thing that I was worried about was the fact that, you don't have Chris Pratt doing the Italian accent the way that we're used to. And I'm like, okay, well, if you can't, I believe in this. If you can't do the accent, then just don't do the accent at all.
Hmm.
That's one thing I have whenever it comes down to live action adaptations of certain things. But then on the other side, you're doing an animation movie. So that rule I don't feel like applies to this. So I feel like you need to have that accent to a point where it's like, it's me, Mario, Mamma Mia. You need to actually have the Italian accent. Otherwise, you're going to lose the continuity within where Mario is. And I said this, you know what they should do?
Yeah.
They should just go on ahead and cast Jared Leto and do the Italian accent that he did for House of Gucci. because basically that was just a Mario impression the whole entire movie.
Just get Danny DeVito.
My dad, he was in House of Gucci.
I feel like the Mario movie is like cultural appropriation, right? Why so many Italian voice actors out there? Why you got to put in this white guy from Jurassic Park? It's bullshit. Don't make Star Wars Mario. You can't pull it off, man.
Yeah, he supposed
But
to be like a
I like Chris Pratt, but not like that.
New Yorker, wasn't he? That's what he was supposed to be.
I don't know. They never really talk about where Mario's from. I think a lot of people assume he's from. He was in Brooklyn in the first one. How can we not talk about the first Super Mario Brothers? It was the first video game movie ever made. And in research for this show, I sat down through that piece of shit one more time, just for you, John. For you, that's how much I care.
Does that explain
What
blood
a
coming out
piece
your
of
nose?
crap!
I do appreciate you torturing yourself for my show. I do appreciate that.
That explains blood come out of your eyes and everything just bleeding.
Right? This is me researching for your show. I was setting up the noose.
Just having an exorcism.
Oh my God. It never.
That was hands
like
down
every
the
time
worst.
you watch it, it gets worse, right?
Get up and get down.
Mhm.
Everybody wants a dinosaur.
Oh my God. Yeah, you got to give Bob Hoskins, man. He tried his best,
tried.
right? But
Well, Bob also
God.
showed up to the set drunk.
Oh, did he? I don't
He
blame
don't
him.
Yeah.
remember making the movie.
No,
I don't blame him. He's probably
no, he showed up to the
questioning
set
his
drunk.
life choices.
This is what killed him. It wasn't anything else that he's done. It was the Super Mario Brothers movie that killed Bob Hoskins.
Oh, it's
It wasn't Who Framed Roger
so
Rabbit. It was this
terrible.
movie that killed.
But
I think
Like-
Who Framed Roger Rabbit came before that one, didn't it? I'm trying to remember.
which one? Roger Rabbit?
Yeah,
yes,
it came
I think
before
did.
that, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Man, I'd be proud doing making a movie of Roger Rabbit. I'd be like,
Oh, it's
Yeah.
an amazing.
yeah, I
Amazing.
felt
movie.
the enemy boobs before.
Yeah.
I get the-
Is weird
I
if
put
you've
my head
never read
against
the
just
book.
the rabbits.
But the Super Mario Brothers, even having John Leguizamo there, because I love John Leguizamo, and I get why he's there because he's from Queens.
Yeah.
But you can get an Italian actor to play Luigi.
Yeah, he didn't even have a mustache. That's what's weird.
That was what was weird. That was what threw you off the whole entire movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't because of the jetpack boots that they had. It wasn't
Oh,
because
those were
of
donkeys.
Wasn't the little wind up thing. Mojo Nixon. I mean, you got to give props there. Mojo Nixon as Toad is brilliant casting. Brilliant. I love Mojo Nixon, and that's the best. They got him singing his political shit, and then when they what do they de-evolve him, and his one wizard head has the harmonica, and as he walks around, he's just blowing on that harmonica. The best, man. Oh God, that part.
Well,
that
not
is
to
the
mention, he
redeeming-
still has his hairstyle.
redeeming part. That is the sole redeeming part.
That
of
shit
that
on his
movie
head, yeah.
Is Mojo
Yeah,
Nixon.
the whole Mushroom Kingdom was like extremely bad, and what they did to Yoshi was bad too.
Oh, what is that shit, right? That was crazy. Oh, he's a little dinosaur. And then they never did anything with him, right?
No.
I wanted to see him eat an egg and shoot it out at Bowser.
We didn't even get to see Mario ride him. And
Yeah,
plus
why
he
you
committed
couldn't ride that
suicide.
little bastard? He would have broke his back. He was a tiny little thing.
yeah, he was.
Princess Daisy, one of the worst actresses ever. She was terrible.
I-
Right. I
Daisy,
saw her
I
in
thought
one
that-
or two other movies, and you know how usually
Okay,
at that point
yeah,
you're like,
that's-
oh, but she was actually good in this movie. But she wasn't. She wasn't good in any movies. She was no good. Terrible actress. I hope she's
King
watching this
Koopa.
show. All right, Dennis Hopper again. You got to give a few props there. That was just
Monkey.
insane casting. Well, like, didn't he go from like Blue Velvet to Super Mario Brothers? that
think
was
the
some
blackmailed him in
ballsy
that movie.
shit right there. I don't know what they were thinking. Hey, you know who would be good as Bowser? Let's get this drugged out sex maniac.
Man, they must really have dirt on him to force him to play King Koopa.
I don't know. He was in that one for the paycheck, man.
Must be.
There goes John. Happens every show. Listen, I'm so sick of carrying this guy, you know? Wait till he
Yeah,
turns
let's
in
just
and watches
ignore
this
him.
show and just hears me trashing
Yeah, let's
trashing the guy who owns. Hey, John, good to see you again, man.
hey,
So-
bud.
Oh, there he goes again. Jesus Christ. He swore to me, no technical problems this time. I got my internet fixed. No
He's
more
full of
technical
technical
issues.
problems.
Jesus Christ. He needs an engineer in his studio. Oh, there you are. We were just singing your praises.
Hey, pal.
I'm good.
How you doing?
That was all you. This had nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
I know you blame it on
I don't
me
trust y'all.
all the time. This is you. Yeah. We can't wait for you to go through and rewatch this episode.
Yeah.
I actually have to go in and edit the audio part, so I'm sure I'll be able to listen to none of what you guys are saying. So,
all you need to know that is nothing but good things about you.
Yeah, nothing at all. And if there was anything bad there, Quentin started it. Just saying.
I think
All
about
right,
a
what other
mosquito
good
hawk
video game
on the
movies
wall.
were there? What were some other good ones?
I'm sure he did.
Why am I always put
I'm
out
trying to
as
think.
bad
I
guy?
mean, to be honest with you, I think the reboot of
Reboot or what? What's going on?
Yeah, you keep
to be honest with you, I think that the other one that I think is really good.
You.
So I'm thinking that the last one that I liked that. What?
You got to
can't
call
hear
your
you.
internet provider. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just going in and out. You like
Hold
sounding
on.
like a puppet.
One sec.
There he goes. Oh, I didn't get to hear what the last video
Yeah,
game
I didn't know what he was
movie
talking
he
about.
saw he was excited about. I
Yeah,
don't
he
know.
was.
I don't know. What was it? What was it?
I
What do
don't
you
know.
guys think it is? It's probably, what was that volleyball? Remember that? What
Yeah.
the hell is that video game with the volleyball and all the chicks are playing volleyball and they turned it into a movie? I couldn't even believe that.
Oh man.
That's the one he likes.
No, I think he still likes the 80s Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
Oh yeah.
Classic piece of how not to make a movie.
I see so far Sonic seemed to be pretty good. I did like that one.
Sonic was okay. The first one, second one was not very good. Yeah, I thought it was all right. Once they
Yeah.
changed Sonic, you
I
remember how he
I think
looked originally? Oh, it was
yeah.
terrible what they did to that
It
guy.
was terrifying.
Oh, he looked like if Sonic
Oh.
had been, friggin' on drugs and had been doing
He does look like
heroin and
he looks like
now
a
he's
cosmetic
doing
version of
porn movies to subside and get more drugs.
Oh,
I don't
hey
know why I
man,
can't do John's show without ever
I
talking
need some
about porn.
speed.
There he is. Hey,
Hey,
how you
by
doing,
the way,
little camper?
I like that live action adaptation of the volleyball game.
All right, go on. We're dying to hear what your last good video game movie was.
Yes, speak aboriginal.
Okay, so I'm thinking that the Tomb Raider movie, and then of course Uncharted was actually two of the good ones.
Uncharted was great.
Here's the thing,
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah,
I never seen Uncharted yet. It was on my list to watch, but I never got a chance to watch it yet.
Well, I love Tom Holland, right? I mean, he's just so much fun to watch anyway, and he was perfect to put in it. He's so young compared to the actual characters in the game.
Yeah.
But I thought he pulled it off. I thought it was a lot of fun, a lot of action. You got exactly what you expected: action and comedy and fun, right? It was a lot of fun. Tomb Raider, first one was okay.
you see,
Second one not so much.
Are we talking about the one with?
I like the reboot of it.
Of the movie?
I like the reboot
movie?
of.
Oh, you're talking about the reboot version.
Yeah.
Not the one with Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like the first Angelina Jolie movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have a crush on Angie a long time ago. Then I realized she was married to Billy Bob Thornton, so I was like, "Yep, staying away from that."
But then she went Brad Pitt, right? If you could be like, "Oh, I stole Angelina away from Brad Pitt," what a stud you would be, right?
Oh yeah,
you can't really go, "Oh, I stole Angelina away from Billy Bob," right? No one's impressed by that.
No, because like, who wants Billy Bob?
Yeah, you and another million fucking guys. Yeah, you just happen to be the next one in line.
Because Billy Bob looked like he came off of a Dollar Tree truck. So it's not like you have a lot going for them.
Yeah, I don't even.
Yeah, they
know
should have
what
had Billy
that was
Bob
about.
play Mario.
That's crazy. I don't know. Billy Bob must have a cock
Oh,
that
God.
big. That's what I have to assume. I don't know how else you pull that one off.
Oh,
Ah, this is another
But
beeping
anyways,
session you're gonna have to
I
do with
don't
me,
want to
right?
think of that. I
There
don't
I
want
go.
to
I
think of
went.
that. That's gonna
Quentin,
haunt my
welcome
dream
to
for the rest of my days.
guesting with Chris. This is what you got to put up with. Terrible.
I'm going to see Angela
but
Jolie in my
anyways,
dreams,
our
like,
next sponsor is
oh,
BetterHelp. We do appreciate.
yeah, just turn the face of Billy Bob. Thought,
I know. Oh my God. I apologize to everybody now.
gonna haunt everyone's dreams now. The next Freddy Krueger.
But anyways, I think that's everything that I had wanted to cover as far as this segment goes. And this was actually a lot of fun. I've been wanting to do this topic for a while because I was one of those topics that I felt like that needed to be talked about because I was curious about what everybody thought about live action adaptations of certain video game films and stuff like that. And also too, I wanted to get everybody else's opinion on it because of the fact that we have so many video game adaptations and some that are good, some are the bad. And as a matter of fact, I did a segment when I was first starting out with the audio podcast called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Video Games. So
Talking about me
now
again?
it was just good to be able to do this.
Yeah, it's fun. So, what's everybody playing? That's what I want to know. Is what's everyone's main game right now? John?
Right now, I used to play Dead by Daylight a lot.
Oh,
Then
kid loves that. That's a fun one.
I love that game, but lately I haven't even hooked up the PS4 yet. But I'm playing the Witcher video game right now too.
Oh, Witcher's great. I'm playing that on Switch. It's
Yeah.
really good. It's a great, and of course
I
that
love
is
it.
another one that has a TV series.
Yeah.
Out right now. So I haven't had a chance to watch that one, but I heard
The
it's
first
really
season is good. I haven't watched the second season yet.
I've seen a couple episodes and I liked what I was seeing.
Yeah, and then
And,
Henry Cavill just left that.
Yeah, he went to be Superman again.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
He'll
who
play the boy
doesn't
scout.
want to be Superman with a
I
nice?
don't.
But
You know what?
I
Fuck
heard a little bit of
Superman.
rumors
That guy's
about that,
a
though.
choir boy. That guy. So anytime you read a DC comic that goes in some kind of dystopian alternate universe, right?
Yeah.
Like the Dark Knight Returns, what is Superman doing? He's working for the government, right? He's working for the man. No, Superman is a friggin' traitor. I'll take Batman over that guy every single time. And that's why Batman always kicks Superman's ass, by the way, every time the two of them go to fight. It's always Batman. Superman, terrible superhero.
I've always been a
hate
Batman
him.
fan, so
Well, when it comes to Superman, I always prefer Captain Marvel, aka Shazam, because he's more fun to read, in my opinion. But I like magic. I'm a magic guy.
Yeah. The thing is, you can't be worried about Superman, right? He's fucking Superman. He's never going to get die. I mean, I say that, of course, there's Death of Superman, but I mean, you're never really worried about Superman getting his ass kicked. Best Superman comic I ever owned, by the way, was Superman versus Predator. Oh, that was kick ass, man.
I never read it.
Oh, it's almost
Me either.
like it was Batman versus Aliens. That one was awesome.
I heard that one was good.
It was really good.
Have a bat alien.
Oh, okay. So we're going back to our video. Quentin, what are you playing right now?
Wait, we're getting off track here. We're supposed to talk about games.
Come on, man. You got to keep up. Keep up. Come on. Topics are
Keep up the
flying.
rhythm.
Track.
We
Where are
heard
we?
what John's playing. What are you playing now? What's your game of choice right now?
Right now, I've been
you
playing
play?
Elden Ring.
Playing what?
Elden Ring.
Oh, Elden Ring. Yeah. Wow.
Get my ass
I didn't even know that was
handed
still
to me.
around.
Left and right.
Yeah, no doubt. That's toughin'.
I was like, ooh, this is a nice spot. Death.
I've been playing Ark. Just came out on the Switch with all the DLC, and they had ported it a couple of years ago, and it was a shitty port. I mean, it was really bad, and they just redid the whole thing. I mean, they rebuilt it from the ground up, right, using the latest Unreal engine, and it plays beautifully on the Switch. It's so good, man. So
Yeah, I heard of that game. I heard it was pretty good.
oh, it's great. It's really great. If you like crafting and there's dinosaurs and everything you could possibly want.
Can I die?
Oh yeah, you're down a lot.
Wait.
A
I
lot.
will destroy my immortality. As
Yeah,
a game character.
you're gonna die, man. I promise you. I do. Obviously, I am the world's worst video game player. I've been playing since I was friggin' 8, right? Like on the original Atari system and ColecoVision, and I am the world's worst video game player. I love. I'm a gamer through and through, but I'm not a very good one.
Well, what was that? What was that movie? That
I am a gamer as well.
Ryan Reynolds in it.
Which one?
What was that movie with Ryan Reynolds in it? I'm trying to remember. He was like supposed to be like a background character in the game.
Oh,
Good guy.
Shit, yeah,
Yeah, good
guy.
guy.
Yeah, I just saw that was
Free Guy.
pretty good. It wasn't too
I
bad.
didn't see that one because I heard it was pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was Ryan
It had
Reynolds.
its moments.
Ryan Reynolds. He's fun. As long as you
Ryan
don't
Reynolds
expect
always
much
a fun
range
guy.
from the guy.
But all right, so that's gonna be it as far as as far as this goes. And I want to thank you guys for doing this segment with me. It means so much to me to be able to do this with you guys. And
No problem.
on November 22nd, 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Time, I'm going to have actor Coleman Domingo from Fear the Walking Dead on my show doing an interview. And we're going to be talking about his small... Thank you. Appreciate it. We're going to be talking about his small...
there. His small what? That's like the worst segue ever.
Hold on.
His small. Well, we'll get back to it in a second. You find out what's small on him.
No, it's his small independent short film.
Does that have to do with your sponsors?
It's crazy.
No, but it's his short film that he did called New Moon. And it's a fantastic animated film that Alex and I were able to do for the Holly Shorts Film Festival. And it's been doing very well over there. It might actually have a chance of possibly might be nominated for an animated short, hopefully. But wow. I'm going to be interviewing Mr. Domingo on November 22nd at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Time. And thank you again, Chris. Thank you again, Quentin. It's been a pleasure, as always, guys, to be able to do this with you. And always until next time, guys, bye-bye.